Okay, so I want to go through the practice test, and I want you guys to do the practice test on your own, check your work and all of that. But I want to go ahead and do this as an opportunity to see how it's done. And so if you're really kind of stuck. And there's some problems here that are a little bit different than what we've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with number 1 here. So number 1 is just a simple subtraction. How do I know that? Because I look at this first number here, and it's -10, and then it says minus. So that tells me subtract. As soon as I see subtract, I'm just write some notes here as we go. I'm going to think 2 marks, because subtraction is the same thing as add the opposite. So I'm going to make my 2 marks, add, and then the next number becomes opposite. Notice we don't touch that front number. So now it's just an addition problem. You can model this if you want. You can number line it if you want. You're basically going -10 and then +8. So because they're different signs, I'm going to add them. Sorry, if they're different signs, I'm going to find the difference. So 10 and 8 is 2. The bigger one was, we had more negatives, so it's going to be -2. Okay. Now this one we could go all fancy and stuff, but it's 11 plus 5. So that's just going to be 16. We don't need to make it fancy. Now this one's an interesting one. It looks a little different on Get More Math, but this has 2 things. Rewrite the expression using addition. So this on Get More Math is going to have 2 boxes for answers. Okay, so we're going to rewrite it using addition. So that basically means make your 2 marks, and now it's -1 plus 4, and so that's going to be your first answer, and that's all you're going to put in there. Then it says do the math. Oh, -1 plus 4. Okay, so it's a -1 and a +4, so we have different signs, so we find the difference. 4 minus 1 is 3, and the 4 was bigger and it was positive, so it's going to be +3. And so it's asking for 2 different things here. And so when you see this on Get More Math, it'll actually be 2 different boxes. One of them is writing the addition problem after the 2 marks, and the other one is doing the math. Okay, let's read this next problem. This looks kind of tricky. Okay, Ahab's score in a video game was changed by -864 points because he missed some targets. He got -18 points for each target he missed. How many targets did he miss? So that's basically -864 divided by -18. That's kind of a big number. So I'm going to have to do some division there. But one thing I do know is that negative divided by negative. So when I do that math, it's same sign. Okay, so I know that my result is going to be positive. So I'm going to have positive something. Okay, and I'm going to have 864 divided by 18, so 18 into 864, 86. Try 4 there, 1832, so 4, 5, 6, 7, so 72. So I subtract, that's going to be 14, 144. So 18, if it was 9, it was going to be 72, which ends there. 8 is going to be 64. Okay, so 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, and let's stop making the mess that I'm making here. Okay, so 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry the 6. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14. So there we have it. Okay, so 48. So it's plus 48. So that's how many targets he missed. It's 48 targets. And it's not negative, it's positive. So positive 48. All right, so now we get here to our multiplication. So it's just simple multiplication, but we have different signs. So the result's going to be negative. Okay, so 1 times 7 is 7, negative. Here I have same sign. So same sign. So my result is going to be positive. So 3 times 1 is 3, but it's going to be positive 3. And we can put the plus in front or no. That's invisible math. A scuba diver can dive at a rate of negative 11 feet per minute. How long would it take him to reach negative 44? So it's basically saying, okay, I go negative 11, negative 11, negative 11, and I keep going till I hit 44. And then that's 1 minute, that's 1 minute, that's 1 minute, that's 1 minute. Oh, well, that's going to be 4 minutes. So it's 4 minutes. And this is where knowing your 11Zs, your 11 math facts is very helpful. So it goes 11, 22, 33, 44. Okay. And then we get down to some basic integer problems here. So again, I know here I've got 2. So I'm going to just look at that first number. And I'm going to do that on all these here. So I get 2 and then minus. So I know I'm subtract. So I know when I subtract, I need 2 marks. And I did this up there, so I'm not going to do it again. So add the opposite. Oh, 2 plus 3, 5. Got it. This one's a little bit different, but 7 minus, oh, there's the minus. So I know I'm going to subtract, so it's 2 marks. So it's add, but the opposite, there's nothing there to cross out, so we actually add it. It's add 8, but the opposite of 8 is negative 8. So the 2 marks ends up being an add and then adding the negative. And so I have a 7 and then I have a negative 8. So now I notice that I have different signs. One's 7's positive, 8's negative, so I find the difference, which is 1. And then which one had more? Oh, the 8 had more. We were more negative, so it's going to be negative 1. So I'm in the mood. I'm kind of in the groove of some 2 marks here. So I look at this, negative 5 plus. I don't need to do 2 marks. No 2 marks here. I just have a negative 5 plus a negative 9. So if I were to model this, I've got a negative 5, and then I've got a negative 9. Oh, look, they're all negative. So I'm just going to have a whole bunch of negatives. So they're same sign. So I add. 5 and 9 is 14. And what were they? Oh, they're all negatives. So it's going to be negative 14. Okay. Mrs. Taylor received a call from her bank because she had a checkbook balance of negative 66. What was the magnitude of the amount overdrawn? How overdrawn was she? $66. The magnitude, how big was that debt? 66. This is an absolute value problem. An absolute value problem looks at how big it is, whether or not it's negative or positive. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be 66. Okay, that's the magnitude. Okay, so I've got 11 plus a negative 1. Okay, so it's 11 plus, so we're not doing our 2 marks. We only do that when it's 11 minus or something like that. So it's just basically 10. So that's basically saying we're taking off 1. Okay, we're back to multiplication. So again, you're going to notice some of these rules change. If it's same sign up there, we're adding. Now we're same sign, and it's just telling us it's positive. You got to remember what is what here. So same sign is going to make that positive, so I just do the math. 4 times 1 is 4, and it's going to be positive, so I just do that. Same sign. It's going to be positive. So that tells me the answer is going to be positive, but now I have to do the math. 6 into 456. 6 goes into 45 7 times. 7 times 6 is 42 minus, oops, don't even need to do that. Got carried away. 5 minus 2 is 3. Bring down to 6, so that's 36. Up 6 times 6 is 36. 0. If you don't know how to do long division, you might want to Google some long division strategies. This is a really good time to try to get caught up on some of that. So it's positive, right? It's same sign positive. So it's going to be positive 76. We could put the plus in front, but we don't have to. Pocahontas withdrew $18 at a time from her bank account and withdrew a total of $792. So that means every time she went, she withdrew 18. Every time. Okay, so that's what that's saying. So when did she get to 792? When was it at the very end going to be 792? So that's basically a division problem. So we're just going to divide that by 18. They like their 18s. Did we have a problem kind of like this already? 79. So we did some 18s up here. What did we do here? 18, 72. So 4 times 18 was 72, so that'll work. All right, so we'll do 4, 72, 52, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. No, it's not 4. Okay. How many times does she withdraw money? So 792. That's 7. See, sometimes I even make mistakes. 9 minus 2 is 7, 2. So it's going to be 4 again, so 18. I was looking towards the decimal here. I knew that couldn't be, because generally these are whole numbers, so that's it. Okay, so 44 times. There'd be your answer. Okay? All right, so now we're back to some of the basics. So 10 plus a negative 12, plus, so no 2 marks. And they're different signs, so we find the difference. So 12 minus 2 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2, and we had more negatives. So this one is more, so it's going to be negative 2. Here we have same sign. Okay, negative 9 plus. So we don't do 2 marks. So same sign, add. We get 19. And then we go back. Oh, wait, they're both negative. So it's going to be negative 19. This is absolute value. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Do a little studying on that. Oops. Okay, on number 19, it's going to be different sign. So it's going to be negative. So this is positive. This is negative. Different sign, negative. So now I just do 4 into 360. Oh, that's 90. The 0 just comes up, right? 4 goes into 36 9 times if we have an extra 0, so we just tag it up. So it's going to be negative 90 because that difference was negative. Okay, same thing here. I got different signs, so it's going to be negative. So I've got 10. So 11 times 10. I like to leave zeros as holdovers, and then that way just bring it down, and then 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1, so 110. Or just add a 0. A 0. Negative. Negative because it was different signs again, right? Multiplication, and we have same sign, so it's going to be positive. And then just 6 times 6, 36, so positive 36. Negative 3, so I'm going to highlight that, minus. So you notice now we have a minus. So that is a minus. Make your 2 marks. Boom, boom. Oh, negative 3 plus 5. Okay, they're different signs. So I'm going to subtract. So different 5, that's 2. And then, and we have more positives, so it's going to be positive 2. I sometimes look at it backwards. 5 minus 3 is 2. So sometimes I do that. Oh, okay. So multiplication again. So this star, if we haven't figured this out, I didn't say anything earlier. A star is multiplication. So it's an asterisk, and in a lot of computer stuff, when we don't want to keep using the X, we need to use the dot. But instead of using the dot, they use the asterisk because we don't really have a dot on the keyboard. So, all right. So again, times different sign. It's going to be negative. So my answer, whatever it is negative. I'm going to have to come over here and do 9 times 14. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9. 10, 11, 12. 126. So negative 126. Okay. Okay, so this is negative 11. I'm going to just highlight these guys. Plus. So it's plus. So I'm just going straight to the rule. The rule is different signs. So I'm going to subtract, find the difference. Okay, so 11 minus 8 is 3. And then which one has more? Which one has more? Oh, we have more negatives, so it's going to be negative 3. So what do I do with the numbers? What do I do with the sign? So negative 6 plus, so we don't do our 2 marks. Same sign. Oops, sorry. Okay, so same sign. So we're going to add those. 6 and 7 is 13. And what were they? Oh, they were negatives. That can't be forgotten. You cannot forget. You do something with the numbers, you do something with the sign. How far below is negative 7 degrees? 7. That's it. How far below 0? That's another absolute value problem. So just looking for that magnitude again. They seem like trick questions, don't they? Okay, so again, I've got 12. So it's plus, so no 2 marks. So now I just look and say different sign. That 12 is positive 9, so different. So I find the difference. So it's like 12 minus 9 is 3. Oh, 12 was bigger, had more. So and it was positive, so it's just going to be positive 3. Absolute value bars. Absolute value bar of 19 is 19. Division rules state that, so this is division right here. So if you haven't figured that out, that's division. So it's same sign, so it's going to be positive. Okay. And then I just got 90 divided by 9. So hopefully you see that that's 10. And it's positive, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Oh, absolute value bar. Distance from 10 to 0. 10. Absolute value is distance. That's why it's always positive. Oh my gosh. If you miss 31, you're thinking too hard. 9 plus 1, 10. You can hope that that's on the test. Okay, so again, division. So different sign. This one's positive, that one's negative, so it's going to be negative. So my answer is going to be negative. Throw that out there. But now I've got to do some math. 680 divided by 8. So that's 8. So that's 64. So I subtract. That's 40. That's 5. 5 times 8 is 40. See how nice it is when I know my math facts. I know some of you struggle with that, and it seems like a handicap. Do your best, even if you have to use a chart, and get really fast at that. Okay. But don't just give up on math facts because you're lazy. Just some of you will struggle because it is what it is. Sometimes you don't have that kind of recall, but there's a lot of people who just bail on the math facts because it's too hard. You suffer for a little while, it really pays off. I suffered a lot. I'll tell that story another day. Okay, so different signs. So 50, positive 50 divided, that's a divide by negative. So it's going to be a negative. So it's different signs as negative. And 50 divided by 5. So that's 10. Hopefully you know your tens. No, 34. Okay, 4 plus 6, 10. Yay. You got 10 a lot as an answer. Ooh, 8 plus negative 8. Those are opposites, so that's going to be 0. I like this. 12 plus negative 6, so that's difference. One's positive, one's negative, so 12 minus 6 is 6, and I had more positive, so it's going to be positive 6. Absolute value of negative 89. Oh yeah, that's 89, so you just go to C. Okay. There's a distance from negative 89, so if it's 0, and I had negative 89, how far is that? That's all that's asking, 89. That's why distance is always positive. Absolute value is always positive. Oh, this is a big one. Okay, so, but again, that division rule, same sign, so it's going to be positive. So my answer is going to be positive. Now I got to do some math here. 3 goes into 27, 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 0, bring the 9 down. 3 goes into 9, 3 times 9, subtract 0. Okay, 93. So it's going to be positive 93. And we're going to end this with a bang. Got to do some subtraction. Why not? Why not finish with how we started? We're going to do negative 2, and then it's minus. So yes, we're going to do our 2 marks. Okay, so I'm going to do my 2 marks. Notice I never change that front number. Add the opposite. So now I have same sign. So I'm going to add them. 6 and 2 is 8. And what were they? Oh yeah, they're negative. Don't want to see you guys missing this because you're being careless. Okay, so negative 8. All right, so that is the first test, the first practice test. So if you went through that, and guess what? Got answers, so you can double check. 48 targets, yeah. Yep, okay. Very good. Okay, so you can check your work, check your math. Hopefully I don't have any wrong. I'm not checking it. Sometimes I do make mistakes, so you never know. Okay, so really study. There's a whole nother test below this, so if you keep going beyond the answers, if you keep going, I know I just made you dizzy, but there's a whole nother test and a whole nother set of answers. Lots of opportunity to practice. So if you get stuck, use that video to help you out. All right? All right, thanks. Hope you do well. Good luck.